Hi guys, Lori here with Sew at Peace. If you are new to my channel, welcome. I make handmade sewn items. In today's video, we are going to be making a hot pad. So I've never made one before, and I was doing some research and it looks like people do different methods for their hot pads. From what I've seen, some people do like 3 layers of cotton batting, and some people do a couple layers of cotton and a layer of something such as Insole Bright. But I'm going to be trying just a layer of cotton and 1 layer of Insole Bright. So I've seen people doing it that way and they say it works just fine. So that's what we're going to do. So I've already cut all my pieces. This is the wrap and zap that I'm using. I don't have 100% cotton other than this, so that's why I'm using this wrap and zap. And here is the Insole Bright that I will be using. And it's almost Thanksgiving, so I'm making a fall colored hot pad. So it's just gonna be a standard size, so we're testing it out. And here is the cotton fabric that I'm gonna be using. I've already cut out my square, so it's 8.5 inches by 8.5 inches. And I have a layer of the Insole Bright. It's cut at the same dimensions, and then 1 layer of the wrap and zap. And here is my backing. So the backing I cut 10.5 inches by 10.5 inches, and that is because we're gonna do the self-binding method. So we don't need any bias tape. And here is my little tab that I cut for my loop. So this is cut at 5 inches by 1.75 inches. So I'm gonna take this piece over to the iron, that way it's ready to go. And what I'm gonna do is just fold it in half, iron it down, and then I'm gonna fold it, I'm gonna find that middle mark, fold it in half again, fold the other side in half, and then we're gonna fold it onto itself like this. So it's gonna be 1 little strip. So I'll be right back. Hi girls. Here is the current situation at my house. It's raining. We don't really get that much rain here, so thought I'd give you guys a quick look. It kind of calmed down a little bit, of course, as I was gonna show you guys. All right guys, so I have my cotton layer, my Insole Bright, and my cotton batting, aka the wrap and zap. So I'm just putting it in the center of my large square. So I'm just kind of eyeballing it. Doesn't have to be completely exact. And I'm just gonna pin it. So already it feels pretty thick. I think it's gonna be just enough batting in there, but I will test it before I post the video and let you know if it works well for me. So we're just gonna pin this, making sure to grab all of the layers. I just put my pins on all 4 sides because I'm gonna mark an X. So you can draw an X or you can just eyeball it. We're gonna see, I don't know if this pink marker will show. No, it's not gonna show. Okay, so I just have my Hera marker and I'm gonna draw a line on here this way. But you can eyeball it as well, that would be fine. So I have my lines on here. Okay, camera just went down. That's not good. Trying to get you guys in as close as I can. All right, I think this is as good as we're gonna get. So I have my walking foot on my sewing machine. All right, and I forgot to mention we are using 100% cotton thread as well. So this is not gonna go in the microwave, but we also don't want to use a synthetic thread because the synthetic thread might melt when you put something hot on it. I'm gonna take my little strap that I ironed. So this is what it looks like. You fold it in half and then you fold it in half again. And I'm just gonna sew on the open side. Okay, I'm gonna take this over to the iron, and what I'm gonna do is just iron this down to the edge of this project, and then we'll fold it down onto here in just a minute. All right guys, so I ironed some creases in my sides, so I just folded it down to meet the edge, and it's not perfect, but it's gonna get covered up. So we are going to start with one side first. So I'm just gonna kind of unravel the side that I pressed, and I'm gonna start clipping this edge down. Okay, and then I'm gonna do the same on the other side. Okay, and then I'm just gonna sew a straight line all the way down. Just gonna cut off my extra thread. I have to fold this down, fold it down again, and then we'll clip. Okay guys, I finished my pot holder. This is what it looks like. Did not record it because I was getting frustrated. I had to unpick all of my stitches because I didn't like the stitch length on here. So I unpicked it, restitched the X in here, and finished this out. But the lining fabric, or the back of the fabric, I should say, was giving me problems as well. So it's a homespun cotton is what it's labeled as. And I'm not a big fan of the texture of this fabric. It's kind of, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain it, but just the weave of it is a little bit different. So it kind of like stretched a little bit on this corner. So I could fix it if I wanted to, but I really just wanted to test it out to see if one layer of cotton batting and the one layer of Insulbright worked. And also I had some pinching in here on the back side. So I do have a walking foot on here, so I'm not sure why it pinched like that. So I think it may have something to do with the homespun fabric again. So I'm starting all over, and I'm using 2 regular quilting cotton pieces. So this is a Christmas themed one. So I was hoping to get it down before I use my nice fabric, but I think we'll be okay. If not, this is gonna be for me. So if we have to move over to the Juki machine, we will do that. And I did wanna buy a different lining for this. I wanted to try to look for something striped, like in this heart. I think that'd be really cute. But the closest thing that I have to match this is this red gingham. So we're gonna go ahead and try this. And I think this looks cute as well with this print. So we're gonna see what happens. So I cut all my pieces. So same thing, cotton, Insulbright, and the cotton batting in the back, or wrap and zap, and then my backing fabric. So I'm gonna go ahead and give this a shot. And also, and I forgot to mention in the last video, I'm just gonna stitch from the edge all the way down, just because I don't know if it'll look weird, if it'll have some like weird stopping points on the corners on the back side. So that's what I'm doing. All right, you guys, I am like super spoiled with my Juki. I don't know why these machines give me trouble. Like, I forgot that this used to eat my fabric. There's like a hole in there, and if you have it on the very edge, it'll like go down into the machine. So now I gotta pick these stitches, and maybe I'll start just a little bit inwards because I don't want my machine to eat the fabric again. So it kind of messes up the corner. Okay, let's try this again. Yeah, what is happening? It did this on the last one. It kind of like made the corner bunch up on my main piece with all the layers. So also not too happy about that. See, it's like wanting to eat the fabric again. See, there it goes. It's bunching up. It kind of like folded the edge. Not super excited about that, but I'm going to proceed. And like I said, I'm going to keep this one for myself. So yeah, I'll probably have to use the Juki. Okay, don't see any pinching this time on here, but it's kind of frustrating with my machine eating the tips. And then this part, yeah, you can see it, this shifted. So this one was all perfectly cut and it shifted. So it kept like pushing up these corners when I was going over this. It was like lifting it, I had to keep pushing it down, and everything kind of got misaligned. But we are going to proceed. Okay, I'm gonna take this over to the iron and just iron these down like I did before. So just iron it to the edge here. That way we can sew it down. So I'll be right back. Okay, I ironed down my edges and I'm just gonna sew this closed real quick just so it's ready to go. Okay, we're gonna start with our sides first. All right, I went and folded the other, the top and the bottom in. So there's the bottom, and then for the top, all I'm gonna do is get our little tab piece and stick it just right next to that seam in there. And I'm gonna clip it down. So I'm not putting any labels on these because my labels are not heat resistant, since it has like a, I don't know what the material is called, but it's like some type of synthetic material that is on top of the cotton twill tape. So yeah, these won't have my label on them. What now? Okay guys, I am all done with my little hot pad. Here is the final result. So it did come out better than the first one, but I'm still not happy with my Singer machine. It kept wanting to like lift up my fabric on the edges when I was trying to sew in this border piece. So yeah, it was somewhat frustrating. And then I also had trouble when I got to the corners. It was like lifting up my fabric as well and kind of like bunching at that point. I think I'm gonna try my Juki machine. I'm gonna get it threaded for some cotton. So I don't remember if I talked about this in the beginning, but I didn't want to use the cotton in that machine just because I don't want to have to change the tension. So I purchased the machine from Juki Junkies. They have a YouTube channel. And they talk about like when you change the different weights of your fabric, or the different type of, not your fabric, but different weights of thread, or going from polyester to cotton, you may have to adjust the tension. And I just didn't want to mess with that because sometimes it can be a pain in the butt to get your tension right, as I'm sure you are aware if you sew. So this machine is just so frustrating that I'm willing to mess with the tension on the Juki. And it's gonna make me a lot more efficient if I can just use the Juki. That machine is just so much better. It's like night and day. I feel like such a snob because I just wanna use my nicer machine. So I don't know, maybe you can relate if you've had a basic type machine and you upgraded. Going back to the basic machine is just not as fun. So that's where I am with that. So this was supposed to be a quick tutorial and turned out to be kind of a mess, but I hope you learned something, and I appreciate you guys following along. Hopefully it wasn't as frustrating for you watching as it was for me sewing. So if you like this content, I'd appreciate it if you gave me a like and subscribe. And I hope you have a joyful and peaceful day. Okay, you guys, I was just kidding. The video is not over. So I decided to go ahead and change out my thread. It's not midnight yet. It may or not be close to midnight, but That is what we're doing. When I get ideas in my head, I don't want to let it go, and everybody's still out doing their own thing. So I have a little bit of time to try to get this right. So I cut out all the same pieces. So here we are again, and I'm gonna sew my little tab together this time first. So I put my walking foot on my Juki machine, and I'm gonna go ahead and stitch this tab closed. What? Oh no, what happened? See something? What is happening now? Now my machine doesn't like the cotton. Why is it getting stuck like that? What's happening? Oh. Okay, I think we're gonna be okay now. I think I put the wrong screw in with my walking foot, so it wasn't allowing it to move. Oh my gosh, I might have just bent my needle too. We'll see. We'll see what happens when I stitch this strip. I think we're okay. I forgot to put my X on my block, so I just took my chalk and added my X. Okay, we're gonna start from the corner. All right, we're gonna try this without ironing this time. I don't see why we would have to iron this down. I think we're gonna be fine without ironing that down. Save us a little bit of time. I guess it might help on the edge pieces to keep those flat, but I will see what I can do with these fingers. Okay, we're just gonna fold in the top part. I'm all done with the third one. So this was a much more pleasant sewing experience. It was much like riding in a luxury car. So very happy with the way that this turned out, and I do plan to make a bunch of these for my market coming up on Thanksgiving weekend. So if you are local to my area, I'll be at the Arizona Athletic Grounds in Mesa, Arizona on, I believe it's November 28th and 29th. So I will have these hot pads there, and I also plan to make some larger size ones as well. So thank you guys so much for watching again, and I hope you have a joyful and peaceful day. Bye-bye.